Paul, what's training been like in the aftermath of the Colchester game?
Normal, quite wet. We had quite a lot of rain again, and pitch is a little bit heavy, but other than that, just a normal sort of time, and getting ready for what is a big game. Big game in terms of his current situation, big game in terms of local opposition. And as I kind of touched on after the game the other night, good memories from the last time we were there, and it'd be great if we can create some more.
You touched on the lads were feeling after the game on Tuesday that were a bit down after the result. What were they like when they came in on Thursday morning for training?
I think a little bit similar, but at each minute, hour that goes by, you, like I said after, you got to get over that. And the lads that were out doing the sort of proper training as such, they can enjoy that, enjoy having the football. If you stop enjoying playing football while it is your job, then you kind of only going one way then. So they did it, they trained properly, trained well. Most of the other lads that played were sort of on recovery, because whatever the result, that doesn't mean they don't put effort in, which they did. We looked at the stats from the last two games have been pretty high, so need to recover for another big effort at the weekend.
You obviously welcome back Harry Clifton into the fold for tomorrow's game, but are you going to be without Gav Holohan?
That's looking touch and go, and I don't know if there was any sort of confusion at all or not, I'm not sure, but the injury he had on Tuesday, or picked up on Tuesday, was nothing to do with the injury from Saturday. Different one, went in for a tackle, bit of a sort of dead leg, but in the shin area. Obviously there's not too much spare flesh there, so a bit harder to, I think, just recover from as quick. We'll have a look at him this morning. I'm doing press prior to training, so people are aware. So we'll have to see how he goes. The plan is for it to get him on the grass and have a look, but I know that it is still so. We'd like him to be fit, of course, but I don't think we can realistically go into this game with him, certainly at sort of anything but close to 100%. Players are very rarely at absolutely 100%, but he's got to be very, very close to that. So I wanted to see if we can get to a really good either decision or idea today rather than leaving it until tomorrow.
And have you got any other further absentees or potential question marks ahead of the game?
No, all good on that. You did mention Harry, and I haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming he's okay, but he did take a knock to his knee yesterday. He managed to get through training, but he was giving it a sort of rub, and could tell that he was still feeling something a little bit afterwards, but as far as I'm aware, it was more just contact, and he should be fine. And
one player who took a few of the headlines on Tuesday night was Kieran Green for his second half performance. Could we expect to see him involved on Saturday, or how was he pulled up after the game?
He got a message yesterday morning to say that he was stiff, and I think the knee he was a bit worried about it initially, but I think got over that the following sort of hours. I'm pretty certain he'll be involved, so that's good news. Like I said, he came back in, got people's attention. As I said afterwards, don't want to knock his performance whatsoever. Thought he did really well. Spoke before about his character, infectious, gets about people, or sort of, I think the way that he plays, people want to follow. But we can't just put all expectation on Kieran. One, because it's too early, and two, that's just unfair on anyone anyway. So we just enjoyed the fact that he is back fit, and as I said, pleased for him, because I know probably more than others, he really struggles. He's a very sort of active person. He struggles to sit still. He always wants to be doing something, so when he's been away from the group, and yes, he's been in the gym doing things, and like I said, he worked extremely hard. A great example for any injured players to follow. So yeah, hopefully he can stay fit now.
It's obviously a big game against one of our closest opponents in the league. What sort of challenge are you expecting at Doncaster?
They've had a sort of bad result the other night. I think it was, they certainly had a goal ruled out that should have counted. They had other, they would work twice. One maybe it would have been a slightly fortunate, one was a good effort. And I know, listening to Grant, he's been happy with their performances and to a degree results in the last, I think he said 8, 9, 10 games. A bit of a mixed bag within that. Some good wins, a couple of defeats, but they created chances the other night. They do create chances. Two sort of big physical centre forwards in the team at the minute. Molyneux out wide, he's a threat. Play off either side. Very direct, runs at people, delivers good balls, and in midfield, certainly good footballers. They can mix the game up well. They've seen, looking at the footage, there's plenty of sort of examples where they play through teams. There's other examples where they go a little bit more direct into the centre forward. So that's always nice when you can mix your game up. But at the same time, we've obviously looked at some things where we feel they may not have done as well as they would have liked, that we've got to try and exploit. And if we can play how I believe we can, then I'm sure at a certain point we'll cause them problems, and that's what we've got to do. Then when the chances come along, we've got to try and take those, and of course try not to make any silly mistakes. Do all of those things, and we certainly give ourselves a chance.